What is up? Welcome back to my channel. For those of y'all who are new, hi, my name is Esmeralda, and today we are starting my Journey in Faith podcast. So basically, today is the end of Rep and Viz. I am celebrating the end of one of my first classes of the semester ending. It technically ends March 3rd, which is literally next Monday, but we went and presented our stuff today, so we don't really have class on Monday. So basically today was our last day of Rep and Viz until next semester, but we're not going to think about that. It's over, it's done for. We were free from that class. It literally was Studio 2.0. Actually, I think it was like Studio because it took up more of my time than Studio did. So, I'm not excited about it next semester. But anyway, we got that through. I took a very long nap to celebrate, and then I took a nice shower and did my skincare and a face mask, and I painted my nails. So we're just having the greatest time. But whenever I was thinking of kind of doing this Journey in Faith podcast, I really wanted different topics to talk about, and I feel like this is a really good topic because just recently I have seen God work through my life, especially my school life, and I really wanted to sit down and talk about all the times that I have either struggled or have seen God do wonders throughout going to school. I wanna explain how God has helped me get through school. So without further ado, let's just jump right in. I have a bunch of things I want to say to y'all. I have like a list of stuff to help me remember. So yeah, let's just get into it. One of the many blessings that God has given me is the journey through my math classes. For those of y'all who don't know me, I am not very good at math. I've always had a sense that I was going to fail my math classes just because I wasn't good at math. I struggle with understanding the concepts. I'm very slow. So whenever we had like a timed test, I always got really bad anxiety because I was scared that I wasn't going to finish on time or that I was going to get a bad grade because I was so slow that I couldn't get through it. Whenever I reached high school, I was really scared of my math classes because I really wasn't sure if I was going to pass them or not. And I always had like that mindset that I wasn't going to. And so every time like I did pass a math class, I was really excited and I was really happy because I honestly didn't think I was going to pass. And I think God really helped me in that aspect because I had so many friends who were good at math and were able to help me understand and help me through that process of understanding as well. So when coming to college, I was a little nervous because I don't have that support system anymore. I'm all by myself. And yes, like I can get a tutor, but I really wanted to try and rely on myself. And so I prayed a lot about passing my math class. Almost every other day, I think I prayed about it. And God answered my prayer. I passed. Which was really exciting because like I'd call my mom or my dad every time like I'd have a test. I'd be like, pray for me, I have a test. I'm gonna try to get through it the best I can, and I would, and I would get a good grade. It was really nice too because my teacher, my professor, he was really sweet and he was really nice. And I even told him, I was like, hey, like I have really bad anxiety for like math tests because I'm very slow at it, and I try to take my time. And he told me to write all of my work out and don't put it into the computer because like our tests were online, but we had like paper to work it out on. And he was like, I'll grade your paper and I'll see the work that you did, and I will base your score off of the work that you've done. And he did that for everyone, but he was like, don't take the time to plug it into the computer, just write it down. And I thought that was really nice of him, and he kind of helped me. He worked with me with the way that like I didn't have to be stressed about my tests. I mean, obviously I was gonna stress because I wanted to get a good grade, but like I didn't have to stress while I was working because I just had to write down all my work and know that he was gonna grade it based on how I worked it out. I think it was like one of the first math classes that I actually enjoyed, and God got me through it, so it was really nice. Another thing I've seen God do in my life, especially academically, is that whenever I'm really going through something, it really doesn't get to the point where it affects my schoolwork. Which I find to be really nice because I may mentally not be doing well, but I'm still doing well in school. And this really shows in my freshman year. My freshman year started out really badly. I had lost one of my best friends and that friend group because we were all like really close to each other because of that person. And so it kind of just like we all dispersed in a way. So I kind of lost all of the people I was talking to, and I actually got really depressed at that time, and it was not a good time. But I was still doing good academically. Eventually, God sent me Emma and Lacey and a whole new friend group, and it was really nice. Halfway through freshman year, and I really got back, you know, kind of the things that I had lost at the beginning of freshman year. You know, I had new friends and I felt a lot better mentally, you know. I don't remember how all of it started, but I became friends with them, and then we created the Cool Kids Club and we had our own friend group, and it was just a really good start, and it was definitely a God thing that he did that. And it was a blessing in disguise for sure. But being at Eastern, it was nice for some time, and then there was a turning point, especially sophomore year. I definitely got overlooked. I felt a lot like a shadow, and the only place I didn't feel like a shadow was in Day's room, partially because Day was my golf coach, but he also really cared about all his students, and that was really nice. I definitely talked to my mom about this, but there were times where I would like try to get my teacher's attention and I was overlooked. And I joked about it because I was short. Like I was like, "Oh, they can't see me because I'm short," and it was not a funny joke. I just felt like I wasn't really a part of the community, if that makes sense. And the time came whether to decide to stay at Eastern or go to the CTC, because my original plan was to stay at my home school, Eastern, and not go to the CTC, but God had other plans for me. I absolutely loved being at the CTC. I definitely felt seen there. I had a major role there. I had good relationships with literally all the teachers, not just my own and not just for my classes, but for the other trade teachers as well. I was able to talk to them and communicate with them because I had to take pictures for their classes, for the yearbook, and for the social media page. So I got to talk to them a lot, and they were really nice people. I loved all of them, and it was just really nice because I got to use my skills at the CTC and be acknowledged for it, to the point where even the administrators knew me as like the photographer for the school. And I just, I just felt accomplished, and like I belong there in a sense. It was just really nice to put my skills to good use and to do what I like to do, but for school. So I really enjoyed that. And I also got to share my CTC journey with y'all through YouTube, which was amazing as well. I would have to say junior year was by far my best year throughout school and at the trade school. It was really nice. I made so many new friends, friends who enjoyed the same things that I like to do. I told my mom, I was like, this is amazing. Like I am so happy right now, and I was like, I'm so excited for senior year. Basically, my senior year ended like freshman year started. Um, there was just a lot of stuff happening senior year. School wise, I was very stressed because we had a due date for the yearbook and we could not get all the pictures of like all the kids in the yearbook because Eastern and I think it was one other school wouldn't give us like the pictures that they took of us for the yearbook. So we actually had to like go in and take pictures of all the kids that we didn't have pictures for manually and take their picture and then cross off their name and then put them in the yearbook template that we made ourselves. So it was a lot of process and a lot of work. So that on top of everything else was really stressful. There's just a lot of things that were going on with relationship wise. I definitely think this is where God opened my eyes to what was going on around me and definitely led me in a different direction from where I was going. I just like, I remember there was like a sudden flip of a switch in my brain, and all of the things that I had heard or, was around just didn't satisfy me in a sense, and it was just wrong. And I wasn't going to stand for it, and I kind of just wanted to get out of it. This is when I mentally started crashing out, guys. Basically, I was just fed up with everything. By the time graduation came, I did not want to talk to anyone. I did not want to be there. I wanted to get as far away as possible. The fact being that I had also lost several close friends to me, and I just could not be in the same room as them any longer. Like, I think this is where my faith majorly developed, because I am literally living by myself. I'm 3 hours away from everyone I've ever known. I'm 3 hours away from my family, even. And the only thing here that I have to rely on is God, for stability and for my own peace of mind. I think one of the hardest parts about being here, especially, 3 hours away from my family, is the loneliness. Definitely gets to me sometimes. Definitely the first semester, I didn't have much time to make friends with people or go to events because I was down at the studio 24/7, and whenever like events were happening, I had my math class at the time, so like I couldn't go meet people or like actually hang out with people. It was a lot to handle first semester, especially going from such a noisy environment to such a quiet environment. It was definitely a big change for me, but I think God helped me kind of process it very well by throwing me in college work and studio work, which I'm very thankful for. Everyone has these days where your mental health is not very good. And I have gotten them a lot recently. There are definitely times still in this semester, especially, where I have just felt so overwhelmed mentally because I'm still processing things and I still have emotions from past things that kind of still haunt me. And it's still sometimes a struggle to get over things like that. Um, sorry. Struggling to find the right words to say this, so bear with me. But whenever I'm having a mental breakdown, I guess, or I feel really overwhelmed about certain situations, I pray about it and I ask God for just to find peace in certain situations that I am still being haunted by, I guess. I have seen God work through my life while it's happening. I've gained more friends at the studio. I don't feel the need to have barriers up that I've had before in my past. I no longer have the need to feel tough around people. I'm definitely more emotional now that I'm in college. You can just ask my mom. But it's, these are just some of the things. I have also gotten my name back, which is so meaningful to me because for the longest time I have felt like that part of myself was gone because throughout my academic years at school, I was always known as my old nickname. I've never talked about this before, mainly just because, it's not something I really want to point out. Um, because, a lot of people don't know how to pronounce Esmeralda, so my old nickname was a very easy way of knowing me, which I completely understand, which is why I allowed my friends to call me that. Um, but I really wanted a nickname to be closer to my actual name or just to be called by my actual name. And being here, I actually have. Um, I'm known as Esmeralda. I have friends here now, and I have God, who is continuing to work wonders in my life. Just knowing how much He's given me and helped me throughout the process of school and everything that comes with it, it really just shows how important He is in my life and how much I really enjoy and understand what He's done for me. So I will continue to, stand beside Him and follow Him wherever He guides me. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. I hope it can inspire you in your own journey. That is all for now. Make sure to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell in case you want to come back for another episode of, what is this called?
Sorry, my brain stopped working.
Of my journey in faith. With that being said, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!